You know, in the last few years, Rapala has come out with some fantastic custom fishing outfits. What I'm holding up in my hand is their newest one, which is the Shift Rod and Reel. This is the spinning outfit. And over here is the R-Type, the new one, rod and reel outfit. Now you'll notice that both of these rods have split grips. That means that some of the actual grip is missing. It's split. So all you see is the actual blank there. The R-Type has a much shorter split grip, while the Shift has a longer one. This extension is important because if you want to fire a lure far, you can actually catapult it. You put your left hand, in the case of a right-hander, on the bottom part of the split grip and your right hand up top above the reel, and you catapult that lure out far. So with these outfits, we can cast really far because they're just the right spine, and they enable us to cast even light lures like these small Lucky Strike spoons far. Now for trolling, you want to use different types of rods. These would be too stiff and they're too short. So for trolling, what we have here, these are the North Coast series from Rapala, and you can see that they're called Hot Shot Special Edition. So Hot Shots are lures that are very popular on the West Coast, and the action is extra fast, medium light, designed for lures from 1/4 to 5/8 ounce or 6 to 12 pound test. Now what we've done on both these outfits is loaded with 12-pound test suffix, and it's the deep down cranking monofilament. This is a monofilament that actually sinks, doesn't float. So it helps for your lures to go down when you're trolling. And both of these are bait casters, and they have the new Volt and the R-Type bait casting rod. So a lot of people would say, oh, these are bass reels that you have on there. Well, they're not bass reels. These reels can be used for anything. I've even used them for steelheading, and they're actually ideal because they have such a good drag system when you're trolling for rainbow trout or some of the other species of fish like walleye. So the reason for the longer rod, the 8-foot, is they're very flexible, light action, so that when you do get a hit, the fish grabs the lure and start to swim away. There's actually a bend, and it doesn't really feel all of the tension from the rod until you ease back and set the hook. Then you've got the fish on, and also it amplifies the fight. And half the fun in fishing is being able to enjoy that fish fight, not having an outfit that's too heavy. So if you're going to be trolling for rainbow trout, especially up here in Manitoulin, an 8-foot medium light action rated 6 to 12 pound test rod, 8 feet long is ideal, with 12-pound test line. You want to go 12-pound in case you add some dipsy divers or some other devices to get your lures down, in case some of the rainbows are down further. And for casting, you want to have 6.5 to 7-foot light action spinning outfits that are loaded with braid. So these two outfits that I'm holding up here are ideal. They'll help you catch a lot of fish up here in Manitoulin Island. You know, it's amazing that these fish, Luke has told us that these fish will be here for about 3 or 4 weeks in the spring. So literally from when the ice goes out till almost the last week in May. And then of course they go to deeper water. So this is a kind of fishery that to just cast them like this, or even the troll real shallow in less than 6 feet of water. You can see the bottom here. You got to be here early. So if you love to trout fish, you know, I can't imagine coming here and actually using a fly rod to cast for these fish, because you could get them on lures, on fly gear, anything you want to use. And they're gorgeous fish. They're very plentiful. Look how beautiful they are. I mean, to get these fish on a fly rod with a light like a 5/6 weight rod would be amazing.
Fisher girl! Catch the passion!
Not all crankbaits have lips. These are lipless crankbaits, but the companies have designed them so that they're flat on the head and still have pretty much the same action underwater. The difference between these two is this one's called a rattling wrap and it rattles, and this one a clacking wrap because it clacks.
Now both these are excellent to use when fish aren't feeding, because when fish are feeding, there's nothing in the water that they feed on that clacks or rattles. So these actually are very erratic and they're not realistic at all. So a good time to use these is in the middle of the day when the fish are not feeding, but because of the strong sound and vibration, you make them strike. So they're very good lures to make fish strike.